As a lot of you guys probably know, my career in iRacing has been nothing short of comedic. Let's just put it at that. Now, when asked why I'm not as fast as I probably could be, I always say that I simply don't have the time. Knowing this, I was introduced to a software called trophi.ai who decided to sponsor this video, and I think that most of you will find what this program can do to be pretty insane.
Starting from the right, brake hard and watch the exit.
So in this video, I'll be showcasing what trophi.ai can do, how it's impacted my on-track performances, mentioning its limitations and room for improvement, and hopefully giving you all a good understanding of whether a service like this could be for you. So the concept here is simple. This AI software analyzes your on-track performances, compares it to what top drivers are doing, and gives you real-time feedback and analysis as to what you're doing wrong and where you can gain some more time. Now, there are several ways that it achieves this, so let's start by looking at the Mansel AI voice coach, arguably the coolest feature of this program.
Hello there. I'm Mansel, your AI racing coach. We'll be working together to help you get acclimated to Circuit Zolder in your Ferrari 296 GT3.
Two modes are currently available with Mansel. One is the track acclimation mode, which helps you learn the track by telling you where to position your car and what's coming up, and the other mode coaches you as to what you're doing wrong and what you can do better in order to gain more time. As you can see here, we're also able to further tailor Mansel's feedback by selecting the parts of the track you may need help with, the type of techniques you want advice on, and the amount of feedback that you want. That said, let's start by seeing how the acclimation mode works. Okay, so let's use Mansel AI to try to get familiar with this track.
You're approaching a tightening left, starting from the right. Brake hard and watch the exit. It might close up on you.
It might or it will.
We're coming up on a tightening right called turn 7A. Enter from the left and prepare for a hard brake. Watch the exit as it tightens more than you might expect.
Okay, enter into the left, hard brake. This one does tighten more than you would expect. That checks out. As I do more and more laps, it's giving me more and more information as to what I should be doing.
For ear state, try to shift into third gear at the apex and work on applying throttle earlier to improve exit speed.
As you can see, they are a lot more detailed, the instructions. It's even telling me what gear I should be in, something that is actually really useful.
Approaching turn 7A, a tightening right. Enter from the left with a firm brake, aiming for around 80% brake pressure to manage tire wear better. Focus on controlling your braking input smoothly as you trail brake into the apex.
So overall, the track acclimation feature is actually pretty useful. It's going beyond just telling me what's coming up, and it's actually starting to tell me more what I should be doing, including where I should be braking, what gear I should be in, and other relevant techniques that I should be using. The only thing that I don't really love is that in some cases, for example, it's telling me to brake about 10 meters before, and I don't really know how to judge where that 10 meters is. I think it would be cool to have some type of overlay on the track itself telling you where the ideal braking point would be. But I mean, overall, in terms of actually getting used to a track and knowing what's coming up and knowing what you should be doing, it's actually pretty spot on. Telling me what's coming up and what to look out for is certainly helpful. However, the track coach feature here won't be its main selling point, so let's switch over to that and see how that works. So now the idea here is that Mansel is going to
left tighten, move up to second gear at the apex.
So now the idea here is that Mansel is going to be giving me more specific driving advice to improve my lap times on this track.
Right tightening, trail brake a bit longer to improve your turn-in profile and exit speed.
As you can see now, it's talking about trail braking and more specifically talking about my driving technique.
For this left tightening, aim to turn in 5 meters earlier and try maintaining a higher speed at the apex by 30 kilometers per hour.
Okay, let's try to go through it a little bit faster and braking a little bit earlier.
In the next right tightening point, focus on applying the throttle 30 meters later to improve exit speed.
So a little bit slower on the throttle. Throttle now. I think that helped out.
For this left tightening, delay your brake by 15 meters to improve entry speed.
Okay, let's see it.
Brake 10 meters later for this right tightening.
I think that helped out.
Good job back there. You gained over a quarter second on the last lap.
It's pretty cool. I have to admit, that's pretty cool. I do feel myself getting faster. I mean, iRacing is telling me that I'm doing faster laps, and some of this advice that it's giving me is actually pretty useful. Now, one of the things that's really impressive is that after the more and more laps that I do, the more specific and tailored the recommendations become. A lot of the advice that it's giving me is regarding my braking points, as well as the speed that I'm carrying through the corners and my acceleration. Apart from Mansel, probably my favorite feature here are the live telemetry displays. How they work is extremely intuitive. In real time, it matches your on-track inputs to those from the expert, allowing you to see what you're doing differently and how you can improve. There are several different telemetries available, each helpful in their own right. In this instance specifically, I have one telemetry for my brake inputs and the other for my throttle. In theory, this should let me know how both my timing and technique differs from the expert driver, so let's jump on track and see it unfold. So the telemetry above is showcasing what my inputs are doing in comparison to those by the expert driver. Looking at the telemetry, I could tell that that was actually a flat out corner, and that is somewhere where I lifted. So next time I can try a little bit harder to just stay on the throttle and see what I can change in order to go flat out there. Those beeps that you're hearing are braking indicators, and that's telling me where to start and where to really go on the brakes. One of the things that I'm noticing is that in many cases, I'm lifting where the expert driver is going flat out, and in other cases, I'm braking either significantly earlier or significantly later. So what this is telling me is that it is possible to go flat out in many corners where I didn't originally expect. This, of course, is going to save me a lot of on-track time, but also a lot of trial and error when trying to learn and get faster on the track. Technique analysis and grading is another useful feature of the trophi.ai software. You see that with this, you can have this software in real time grade your driving technique. To use this, simply add a drill and press on what you want to be graded on. Whether that's your braking points, your throttle application, trail braking technique, or many others, this software will let you know what you're doing right or wrong. So let's once again jump on track and see how it works. So what we have here is the technique analysis and grading. More specifically, I've set it so that it's grading me on two factors. One is the speed that I'm carrying through a corner, and the second is my vehicle smoothness while going through that corner. So let's do a few laps and see the grades that it's giving me. In a lot of these corners, I'm carrying either too much or too little speed, so I'm trying to find the right balance between the two. See there, for example, again, too quick. It's telling me that I was going too quick and that I need to slow down. That corner, for example, felt really good, so it's telling me that I did a great job in terms of the speed that I was carrying through it. A lot of this is going to come down to muscle memory and repetition, but knowing where I'm doing a good job versus where I'm not is also very useful. Again, I did a good job there in the paddock hill bend in terms of carrying the speed. So now I'm starting to get a little bit more accustomed as to what I should be doing in terms of the speed that I'm carrying through the corners. Overall, it is actually working pretty well. After your driving sessions are over, single and multi-lap coaching reports are available to provide you in-depth insights as to what you're doing right and wrong and what you should hone in on. This was tracking a few practice laps that I was doing on the MX-5, but I can change it to track whatever previous session I just had. As you can see, it says that I have an average time of 108 seconds to gain. That's obviously not correct, and that's only there because I was stopping for a lot of it in order to record and get footage. But anyways, apart from from that, the other information does seem to be very accurate. Here on the right hand side, it's grading me on several techniques. So here, one thing that stands out is the 45% I got in the steering category. If I go over here and I hover over it, it's going to tell me the following. This is evaluating my steering technique, including how smooth I am and my turn-in points. Obviously, since I got a 45% here, it's telling me that there is a lot of improvement, and this is something that I should look out for in my future sessions. All of these grades here are based off of my multi-lap report, but if I wanted it to look more specifically on a certain lap, I can do that here at the bottom as well. My highest score here was on lap 5 with a 68%, and if I wanted to know more about it, I can click on it, wait a second for it to load, and here I'm seeing a full in-depth coach analysis looking at just this one exact lap. One of the coolest things about it is that it can show me a replay of exactly what I did and compare it to what the expert driver is doing. As you can see here, for example, I am not only later on the brakes, but I am also significantly harder on them. Here I am quite literally stomping out the brakes at max force, while the expert driver is more efficiently using trail braking techniques to gain more time. What's more is that I can get that same level of analysis for every corner, of course this being super useful and knowing what I'm doing right and wrong. Finishing off, the Driver61 University is yet another service offered by the trophi.ai software. This is a driving course that teaches all of the core fundamentals of motor racing and guides you with tailored video lessons, examples, multiple choice questions to evaluate understanding, and even tailored mini games to help you improve out on track. So overall, my experience with the trophi.ai training software has been very enjoyable. I think it's amazing to see AI technology be used in this type of setting where it's directly helping you in areas which you may or may not have noticed. Of course, this software does come at a cost with it being a monthly subscription service, but the good news is that you can try it out today for yourself with a free 7-day trial using my link in the video description or by visiting get.trophi.ai/ocracing. Overall, it might not be making me a pro racer overnight, but it's certainly helping me close that gap, and I do think that it could do the same for you. Of course, with a free 7-day trial available, there's no reason not to give it a shot and see if it's the right fit for you, so if you do, let me know your experience with it down below, and with all of that said, as always, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.